Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Monday, May 31st, 2021. Happy Memorial Day long weekend to all our, US-based traders. Crypto, of course, never sleeps, neither do our traders. So here we go, guys. We are back. We're giving you your Monday dose of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update on this very long weekend. Shoutouts, of course, to everybody joining us this afternoon, and I guess a very good evening to all our UK-based traders. Did they have a long weekend holiday there last week, this week, next week? You know these things happen to align. Let me know if you any UK-based traders in the chat. Where is your summer holiday long weekend? Of course, guys, here we are on the other side of the weekend sell-off. The dip, yes, the big Bitcoin dip ended up putting in what seems like a higher low. We dipped as low as 33.4 over the weekend, just yesterday actually. We've since pulled out, and the buying has been buying. We pumped as high as 37.4ish this afternoon. Not too shabby. Currently sitting at 37,000 on a Bitcoin. Yeah, and Bubbles is turning up a bit today, and so are the wider markets. Very curious to hear what our analysts have to say today, but that's it, guys. We're gonna be coming to you live again this Monday. We'll try to keep it somewhat casual, try to imbue some of this Monday long weekend spirit. I don't know about you guys, I had a good one. Let's introduce, of course, our analysts. Alex first. Alex, how are you doing this afternoon?
I am pretty good. I guess today doesn't really feel any different from any other Monday to me. So, but it's a holiday, I hear.
Indeed. How about you, Jason? How are you doing this afternoon?
Fantastic. My brother's gonna come over and we're gonna have a little cookout after the show, which would be nice, bringing his son, so that should be fun.
Right
But I
on.
mean, over the weekend, look at the price action. We were talking about this on Friday. It kind of performed exactly how we thought. Dropped back down to that 33 range, get bought back up by the end of the weekend, and here we are.
Exactly. All right, well, let's get on with it, shall we, guys? We are, of course, this will be our first Monday back on YouTube in a while. We started, we restarted the YouTube streaming on Wednesday, Thursday last week. It's been a good few days. No major issues or hiccups on the YouTube front. So I do appreciate, of course, all our loyal YouTube followers who are back. They're back in a big way. So are we. How's D-Live?
No, I said as well as D-Live. Thanks to all those
Yes.
guys.
Well, the D-Live contingent remains strong despite the turbulence, and it's good to be back. And of course, D-Live really has made a place here in my heart. So I thank you all you D-Live users out there. But let's get this stream started. Let's do a quick.
Thank you to all you D-bags. We love you.
Oh boy. All right, let's look at some price action here. We discussed Bitcoin a bit, and I'll save further analysis to our boys. But as the baseline, of course, catches up with the price, we're now closer than ever to potentially getting a close above the baseline if we get another bullish impulse. You know, anything pretty much 40K and up. If we get a close above 40K, we will get a daily baseline crossover. Makes you wonder, are we going to finally see a bit of a reprieve? Are we going to at least test up into, say, the 42 range, the 42, 43 range, which is something I've personally been looking for. The next stab up to flirt with 42K. Is this going to happen this week? Could very well be. I guess we're going to keep our eyes on Bitcoin. Let's see here. Ethereum, looking a lot like the Bitcoin chart. Yeah, hit a low of 21-ish over the weekend. We've since pumped up and tapped 27 today. So decent recovery.
There's another one that I was talking about. I thought Ethereum looked like you would probably catch support around that 3,200 range.
Yeah.
Or 2,200, I think. Yeah, 2,200.
Yeah, Ethereum's baseline currently around 3,100. Again, will we see a test of at least the 3,000 mark on Ethereum this week? Let's find out. What else we have? EOS at 629. EOS holding up fairly well, but damn, these charts look a lot like one another. Doge still wilting away down at 31 cents. Alright, not much else to say on Doge. Here's a look at Uni. Yes, the Uni token looking a lot like pretty much everything else. Currently at $30.50. All these charts are looking about the same. The stablecoin known as XRP still at $1 today. Dot at 22 bucks. Sure looks like every other chart. We're kind of blazing through here this afternoon. KSM, yes, KSM did hit a low of $260 over the weekend. We've since pulled out. How much are we up from the very lows? Yeah, we're up about 33% from the lows. Lucky number 33. Currently at $339 on Kusama. MATIC, here is one, of course, that bucked the trend in the last week or so. Currently stuck inside the Keltner channel. Droopy. Makes you wonder what's next for MATIC, or is it going to follow the rest of the market up if we do get more bullish conditions this week? BNB currently at $346. Oof. And Uni. Yeah, Uni, here we go. Running right into the baseline right now. Maybe, well, not much going on WADA, but currently at $27. Will this be one of the first major coins to cross over its daily baseline in this week? I guess we're going to find out. Certainly looks like it's setting up for it. ADA, Cardano, currently $1.66, dipping as low as $1.30-ish over the weekend. Although looking a bit like all the other charts. Here's a look at GME. GME, was this an all-time? No, definitely not an all-time high. But GME posted a new high at the end of last week. Hit about 200, wicked up to about $266, currently getting sold into on the Monday session.
Well, I have a question. Is there a Monday session?
Is there? Well, let me see here. Never mind. There isn't actually, and this is actually Friday's candle. So Friday, the traders at their terminals sold and walked away for the long weekend.
Traders.
It's the traders, I tell you. AMC, same deal. Bit of a blow off top of sorts. Of course, AMC did hit a high of $36. Got sold into pretty hard. Closed at $26 on Friday. Indeed, there is no Monday trading session today. There's your quick look at my current watch list, guys. Courtesy of some of the CC indicator suite. Let's get into the bubbles, shall we? Here we go. What is going on in the bubble space? The graph, the GRT token leads the pack today on crypto bubbles, up nearly 20%. Currently at 80 cents. X Sushi. All right, I think this is the Sushi governance token, or is this a whole other project? Either way, X Sushi up 18% today. Other big winners across the alt space include the likes of, well, regular Sushi up 15%, Cake up 12%, Solana up nearly 16%. Yeah, a few other double-digit gainers, such as, well, I guess some stuff's getting sold into, but it was earlier Link, Rune, Aave, even Sheeb rounding out the double-digit gains on this Monday. Yeah, decent day in the bubbles. I guess the weekend was a dip worth buying. All right, nothing else really stands out here too much. Bitcoin Gold, of course, one of the few red bubbles for today. Monero, one of the red bubbles. All right, there is a quick overview of the alt markets. All right, who do we have next? We have news. Yeah, let's hop into the news really quick. Man, one of you guys needs to get headphones. A lot of feedback coming through your mics. Is it both of you? Are you both non? Yeah, it's kind of Alex.
What?
I was gonna say,
But I never have mine on. I can change my.
No, it's okay. I have an idea though. You see in Discord where it says voice connected on the bottom left,
Yeah.
and there's like something that says noise suppression next to the disconnect button.
Yes.
Click the noise suppression powered by Crisp.
It is on.
Oh, it is on. Oof.
Why don't I'll change your volume a little bit. That should fix it.
Yeah, just lower me a touch and less of my voice will come through. If not, we're going to have to get the boys some HyperX Cloud headsets.
Yeah.
Let's keep rolling with it. Maybe marginally better. Let's keep rolling with it, gentlemen. We're going to get... Yeah, this sounds good. Not hearing my voice as much now. Let's get into the news. Bitcoin closing in on the biggest monthly dip since 2011. Yeah, you know what? It is, of course, the top of the month. And let's switch my Bitcoin chart to the monthly. All right, so just to put this particular article in perspective, whoa, what a month we have. Yeah, you don't think this isn't going to wander up and test at least 45 in the next month? The June candle, wouldn't be surprised. Let's have a look. This is, of course, the biggest monthly down candle in Bitcoin's bullish history, down 35%. Currently on the candle body. Let's take a look a little further here. Bitcoin looks set to close its biggest monthly dip since 2011. It suffered its worst drop since March 2020 during a market-wide crash earlier this month. Despite the crash, 74% of the Bitcoin supply and 94% of the Ethereum supply is still in profit. The market looks uncertain whether the negative trend will last. All right, not sure how much more I want to add to this because I'm sure this is all very familiar price action that we've all been following, but just a little reminder, yes, the monthly candle is closing. This chart here shows the Bitcoin percentage supply in profit. I think this tries to estimate transactional or exchanged, I guess, coins. Time of exchange to roughly estimate what price they were exchanged at, and helps determine how much of it is in how much of the supply is in profit. And in this case, 76% of Bitcoin supply is in profit. In other words, 76% of the circulating coins are at a higher price than when they were last moved. This metric acts as a proxy for the top and bottom indicator. So apparently not all is lost. It's largely in profit. Likely only a few retail traders were caught off guard by the panic. I guess the rest of us savvy investors made away okay, if we're to take at least this metric. Let's get into the next story. India's central bank confirms banks can't restrict processing crypto transaction. All right, the India on again, off again, and then on again, and then off again. A ban on crypto. Here's its latest entry in the saga. India's central bank has clarified that banks cannot use its 2018 order banning them from dealing with cryptocurrency transactions in a press statement on the May 31st. Reserve Bank of India noted that the 2018 circular was invalidated from the date the Supreme Court overruled the decision to ban banks from supporting crypto transactions. RBI released the circular after media reports emerged indicating the banks had warned their customers that dealings in cryptocurrency would suspend their accounts. However, the RBI urged banks to conduct due diligence process when handling crypto transactions. Of course, the regular sites, proper KYC and AML rules. All right. Well, probably not too many Indians here with us today, but here's one for you, fellow crypto compatriots over there. You guys, well,
man, they really need to get their shit together, don't they? The Indian government. They just, these rules are just, they're always fucking. They keep having rules that contravene each other. You know, you can do this. Wait, no, you can't do that. This is banned. It's not banned. We're going to disallow cryptocurrencies. Okay, we decide we're not going to disallow cryptocurrencies. We're going to be the next cryptocurrency capital. Wait, no, we're not. It's banned again. You know.
Yep, a lot of indecision, but alas, this is just the way the space is right now. A lot of regulatory uncertainty. Just wait until, other nations get the all clear and, the governments harmonize a bit of regulation surrounding crypto. It will be a good day when that day comes, of course. But in the meantime, we have to prepare for, maybe another ban in the Indian pipeline, or something similar in China, of course. China famously, as of late, quote unquote, banning Bitcoin again. These things come and go. It seems like indeed the between the regulators, the politicians, and in this case the Supreme Court justices, they all have something different in mind when it comes to the banning of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But let's get into the next one. The most controversial Bitcoin mining pool signals for Taproot. That's right, guys. The Taproot upgrade for Bitcoin is being signaled for by major mining pools. Of course, this one, Marathon Digital Holdings, is also signaling for Taproot while seemingly backing away from its controversial compliance push. That's right, guys. Why is Marapool one of the most controversial mining pools in the Bitcoin space? Well, it's because earlier, I think it was mentioned that they committed. Let me see here. They were earlier. They came under criticism. I think this was just last month, after censoring transactions by mining only "quote-unquote" clean OFAC compliant blocks, which is an anathema, thank you, to the Bitcoin ethos. However, the company is now seemingly backpedaling on its compliance push. That's right, guys. This was a bit of a horror story to Bitcoin diehards. The idea that a miner would censor certain transactions and only produce blocks with these quote-unquote OFAC compliant blocks and transactions embedded within them. Of course, they seem to be pushing back on this. So not only are they signaling for Taproot, which in itself might bring more privacy to the blockchain, they seem to be backing off of this this compliance push, which put them kind of in hot water in the bad graces of most of the crypto community.
Yeah, the blockchain is supposed to be transaction agnostic. You just do the thing. You do the work.
Indeed, but with so basically non-existent privacy on the base layer, means that this could be a potential way that regulators and the authorities curtail certain transactions on the blockchain. This is probably one of the bigger threats to Bitcoin in itself. Of course, they're likely.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I'm surprised that there hasn't been more coverage of this Taproot thing, because the last I heard, miners had signaled like 90% compliance in the last like 118 out of 120 blocks or something. So it's very close to the fork, the soft fork going through and it becoming part of Bitcoin. So I'm surprised it hasn't been covered more in the news stories.
Yeah, I guess it's to most people it's relatively minor, and Bitcoin.
Yeah, minor.
Yes, no pun intended, of course. And I guess it's just not as exciting and sexy as what all the development happening on the smart contract chains and everything. So I think most of the crypto market has resignated from any kind of excitement over Bitcoin updates, especially in the midst of a bull market where most of the narratives are focused on the alt tech, altcoins, providing things that are going to do things drastically different than Bitcoin. So I think there's a reason why people sleep on technicals like this below Bitcoin's hood. Of course, this is the biggest upgrade in years for Bitcoin, and likely will be activated with within the current 2-week difficulty period, adjustment period. The feature, which will make Bitcoin's multi-signature transactions more efficient and private, will likely go live in November, according to crypto guru Andreas Antonopoulos. There you go, guys. Quick update on the Taproot and the Maripool seemingly backing off from that earlier idea. Crypto exchange Bybit gets a warning from Japan's financial regulator, the FSA. Crypto exchange Bybit been warned by Japan's Financial Security Authority about operating in Japan without a license. This is the second warning Bybit has gotten this year after the UK raised similar issues with the Singaporean-based exchange. Global federal security has now grown surrounding cryptos and their use in illegal activities. Okay, well, we know what they're usually accused of, and in this case, Bybit issued with a warning. This is, of course, following on the heels of the UK warning, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's one coming for us here in Canada. So just a little heads up. Probably not too many Japan-based users here, but would not be surprised if you do use a Japanese VPN portal to connect to Bybit, might be asked to leave the platform soon. The warning to Bybit comes during a time where federal officials worldwide have begun scrutinizing crypto services and more. South Korea will be rolling out a new 20% income tax on crypto transactions beginning in 2022. Let's see, any other countries? Let's see here. Yes, the IRS and the new crypto question front and center. And big estimates. One particular commissioner for the IRS believes that more than $443 billion in unpaid taxes may be attributed to virtual currencies. Other countries such as China have begun to regulate mining operations. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Big cash cow here, guys. It's not just the PayPals and the Apple Pays who want to get in on all the gravy. It's likely your local tax authority as well. All right, how are we doing on time? Okay, I have just a little time. Maybe I'll nix this story. Bitcoin holders adding 8 billion. All right, let's have a look here. Long-term Bitcoiners have been buying the dip during much of this month's sell-off, according to blockchain data analytics. Glassnode's pictured above, some 221,600 bitcoins, 221,600 bitcoins have been accumulated recently, worth more than 8 billion at the current price. All right, so hodlers are buying the dip. Let's see here. And recent price action may be due to speculation. Some traders trying to pick tops and bottoms. Much of the rest is accumulated with longer time frame in view, as this being a shakeout and the correction might slowly change sentiments toward the longer term direction. Yep, is the worst of the sell-off, is the worst of the panic over. A lot of people got shaken out. The diligent hodlers as ever stacked as much as they could during the dip. Hopefully you got yours, guys. Let's hop into the next one. The Ethereum 2.0 contract getting larger than ever before. Just a little reminder that indeed Ethereum 2.0 is on the way, and there is that deposit contract, and it is getting bigger than ever. According to the latest stats, again, this comes from Glassnode's Ethereum 2.0 contract accomplished another historical milestone. Let's see here. First massive element of the infrastructure to bring 2.0 to ETH is one where, of course, people have to self-stake up to 32 or minimum 32 Ethereum in order to for it to have reserve seats in the new proof of stake Ethereum architecture. Let's see here, by Glassnode's, the deposit contract value has broken above its previous high. That's right, despite the pullback in the price, the deposits keep coming, and it's officially at $13.1 billion worth of Ethereum locked in the 2.0 contract, despite the cooled off price currently at $2,529. Let's see here. Not much else to add to that. Any other interesting pieces here? Let's see here. A little warning, I guess. According to this, more data coming in. Bitfinex people, the Bitfinex traders are longing Bitcoin en masse. That's right. The Bitfinex traders have increased their longs on Bitfinex have increased over 74% in the last 2 weeks, currently approaching new all-time highs. All right, so the ratio, I guess, the longs to short is popping off over on Bitfinex.
Great.
Are these traders about to get wrecked? That is the question. Do we counter trade the Bitfinex traders, or do we run with the pack? That's the question. Of course, I think I'll let our analysts speculate on in the next analysis coming up in just a minute. All right, here's one. Fidelity says it has sold $102 million worth of Bitcoin to its wealthy investors. Not a huge amount, but significant to note nonetheless. Financial giant Fidelity hit a new milestone, attracting more than $100 million to its fund for the world's leading cryptocurrency. Since opening in August of 2020, the Wise Origin Bitcoin Index Fund has pooled exactly $102 million, according to a recent filing with the SEC. The report shows that since the first sale on August 31st of that year, a total of 83 clients have invested in the fund. Oh, not bad, right? So you can assume there's at least an average of $1 million ahead on the Fidelity Bitcoin Fund, which can be accessed through Fidelity's digital funds division. In order to invest, investors need to contribute a minimum of $50,000. Fidelity's $100 million index fund is one of the largest of its kind. Competing Bitcoin index funds managing more than $100 million include, of course, Galaxy, the New York Digital Fund, and Pantera. Currently, the fund is only open to qualified and accredited investors. That's probably why you didn't get your invite. Yes, and finally, Ed Carpenter with his Bitcoin Chevrolet comes 5th in the Indy 500. We covered this last week when the live rally of the this Bitcoin IndyCar was released, and guess what? He came in 5th. Today we make history. Today the ECR Indy is proud to race for human freedom, financial inclusivity, and saving technology and Bitcoin development. Bitcoin is the hardest money mankind has ever conceived. There is nothing more I'd rather suit up for, said the driver Ed Carpenter. Wow. That is an excellent statement. He, of course, finished 5th out of 33 participants. Let's see here. Of course, famously packing the Bitcoin symbol on the side of the car and the whole crew. Not bad. Bitcoin, another day of Bitcoin prominence out here in sports. There you go, guys. There is your quick news recap for today, and we're at 1:33. Perfect opportunity to slide into the live chat, see what all our people are doing. Let me just quickly rejig the screen and get right into it. All right, let's shout out the audience really quick, and we'll get into the next segment very shortly. Ron Legato is here first on YouTube. Welcome to the YouTube live chat, Mr. Ron Legato. Good to have you back. Ernest of Gaia. Shoutouts to Ernest of Gaia. Haven't seen your name in a while, but here we are back on YouTube. Bricks waves to us. Hello, Bricks. Good to see you. Mike Maker is with us. Alex1233. He also writes, good evening all. We are all well. Hope all is well. Yes, I hope all is well with you. Mr. H, hello, fellow Kryptonians. Will we stay green, or is this a fake out? Well, I'm going to leave. Just stay tuned. The analysis is coming up in just a minute. Eileen, a little bullish this week. Alex1233, this is the $1 million question indeed. Rhino TD, hello fellow Kryptonians on the D-Live crew. Yes, hello fellow D-Live Kryptonians. Stuwak on YouTube. Back on YouTube. Yes, we are back on YouTube. Still watching live on D-Live though. That's okay. D-Live is a good platform. We do appreciate your follows and your views over there. Professor Wally. What? Asked Professor Wally. We are back, Mr. Wally, and I guess so are you. Welcome.
You too, buddy.
Yeah, I haven't seen Professor Wally come through in a while, but indeed, Wally, a mainstay of the regular chat here on YouTube. It's good to see him again. And Cap Futures is with us as well. Alex1233 asked, I've always wondered, is that Jack, Alex, and Jason's feet walking in the intro of that hallway scene? If so, nice shoes.
Those are my winning legs.
Those are his legs, and Alex and I are dressed sharply in our dress shoes and slick suits.
Yeah, Jason has some wonderful games.
Oh boy.
I've been working on them. Thanks. I appreciate that, bud.
Rhino TD, hello there. Shouts Rhino TD. ACAP Futures feels good to dab again. All right. Is this live or is this Memorex? No, it's as live as it comes, bro. Welcome. Crypto Husao on DLive. Happy Monday, CC community. Looking forward to an interesting session after a rather calm weekend. Yeah, it was relatively calm. Did we shake out the last few retail losers in that dip to 33? I'm sure some people are still uncomfortable given where the price is and where it was just a month ago. Guardian on DLive. Hello, guys. Shoutouts to Guardian. Taz Blitz is with us today. There is a bank holiday here, too, he says. All right, so maybe we're getting confirmation this week in the UK. So, yes. All right, so there is a bank holiday in the UK. Toby1233 writes hello. Shout out to Toby. Piet Havorek says Amsterdam. Well, shout outs to our Amsterdam people. Taz Blitz had the barbecue running over the weekend. Wonderful. It is barbecue season. I also had the grill going pretty much all weekend. Let's see here.
Gotta get mine fired up here in the next 2 hours.
All right. Moblin says, I'll never go back to YouTube. Well, YouTube is still good at certain things. Shout outs to YouTube, but DLive, of course, holding it down as well. All right, let's shout out the last few people. How about MATIC? Well, how about MATIC? We're going to look into that. Mr. Ether, Robert Warner, you are live. Woohoo. Yes, we are. Shout outs to Mr. Ether coming back to us live on YouTube. Mr. Ether, be sure to stop into the voice chat. We haven't heard you in a little while. I cried myself to sleep movie night. Yeah, sorry, I didn't actually put on movie night on Saturday. I ended up kind of being out of the house all of Saturday, so unfortunately I wasn't back, but nobody really DM'd me kind of inquiring about movie night, so I figured other people might also be busy Saturday evening, but we'll be back next week for UFC. Crypto Caveman on YouTube, welcome back once again. It's good to have you guys on the tubes. Why, thank you, Crypto Caveman. It's good to have you here too. Polly B, hey people. Leo Joy, good morning. Good morning to Leo Joy. I see your request. Hang tight. We'll get to that yesterday. Alex81 talking about shorting DOT. Moonshine Fuel. Hello to Moonshine Fuel. And who else do we have? Jose Alves. How's everyone doing today? Good to see you, Jose. Blackbird 987's with us today. Man, we do have a regular contingent, don't we? Turkbot 117. Man, somebody trolling us with a new handle on DLive. Turkbot117, I have my eye on you, but something tells me you're just Beeflo or one of the other regulars of the troll chat.
Something tells me that you're Beeflo.
Yeah, Blackbird987, another Amsterdammer in the chat. Whoop. Yep, Amsterdam in full effect in the chat today. Smoke it up, says Mike Maker. I'm not alone anymore. Indeed, you're not. Afternoon, says Electric. Valk Mike, hello guys. Alemoek on Twitch. Beautiful chart for buying. Time frame 1 month. Okay, so Amalek apparently a buyer on the monthly chart. Natural Law looks like DOT checked off the final check mark prior to relaunching Parachains with their announcement today by Gavin Wood. Yes, developments underway at DOT. Is this a bottom? Someone asks. We'll get to that question very shortly. All right, let's round out the live shot. I'm almost at the bottom. I see a request. Super bullish on DOT, someone says. Not even a Turk. Yes, it's probably not a real Turk, but we'll keep our eye on him. GT Mark IV. Good day from Washington. Shoutouts to GT Mark IV on YouTube. All Infinity. Hey guys, shoutouts to you as well. And that's it. Everyone's been shouted out. Thank you to everyone joining us today. It's good to see a lot of regular faces now back in the YouTube. Here we go though. We are going to dive into the next scene here, and that's going to involve connecting to Alex's stream. Alex, go live. Let's do it. All right, today's Wide market analysis is brought to you by lead analyst Alex Pearson here on crackingcryptocurrency.com. Let's hop into that, shall we? All right. Will it appear? Apparently not. Let's just do a slight adjustment. Boom. All right. Currently looking at the CME on the weekly. I'm going to dive into the live chat now, guys. Start collecting everyone's requests. You know what to do. Deposit your requests, please. We'll get to them a little later in the show. In the meantime, let our analysts take you through their thoughts. Be right back.
Thank you. So, I feel fairly positive in this spot where we are at. Things definitely could have gotten a lot more bearish over the weekend than they ultimately did become. On the other hand, we're so oversold that these 10-20% moves in the positive direction are really just kind of return to the center of the trading range for a lot of our coins. So here on Bitcoin, as you can see, we moved off of the bottom here, but we're actually just kind of hanging out at the local point of control, which is technically, this is a resistance area if you think of it as support over here. So I would classify us as not out of the woods for one more dip down here on Bitcoin. If that happens, I don't expect that much downside. It would be like a quick move down towards 30K, 31K, get people all scared like they do. And then when they either puke their longs, which they bought here because it looks so good right now, like it does, right? So they buy right here, we dip down, they puke their longs. Or they rub their hands together and they go, aha, it's short time. Now is the time to short, all the way down here at the bottom. And so they get suckered in. Then we quickly rise back up into here, trade sideways a little bit, and then do this thing that I had previously drawn out. These little tiny dots that are still there from last time. Out of here. Get out of here, little tiny dot. How many times did I click here? Jeez.
800.
Okay, well, we'll just leave that one dot for now. Okay. Ethereum, things are looking positive here. We're starting to curl up a little bit. We're not there yet. As you can see, we still got another day or two of upward movement before we could really get any kind of even like a reversal signal. I'd be pretty hesitant to take in this spot right now. We're still below a lot of resistance all the way up to 28K. And still pretty far below the daily baseline as well on Ethereum. Ooh. Yeah, it just kind of feels like we're not out of the woods yet here on Ethereum. We could just kind of continue to wander upwards towards 29,000 per 2,900, probably 3,000-ish, which is a nice psychological level, or alternately 3,300. And then I think I still want more downside here for the market. And that's true here on Bitcoin as well, where we've begun to move back to our pitchfork median, this white line right here. And price wants to return to the median of this trend. For those of you who've never seen like a pitchfork setup, like long-term complete, I have one that I did way back in 2017 when I was first learning how to use pitchforks. And I was first learning how to trade. I was a newbie trader. So I kind of wanted to see it work over time. This should find it. Okay. All right, so I did this back in May of 2018. And we're going to be able to, so when I did this at this point in price. So Bitcoin had broken down from 20K to, 6K in February. Right around here is when I started like getting into the market, started learning how to trade. So I spent all this time, learning and losing a lot of money and stuff. And so while learning to make pitchforks, I made this chart. Now, what is it that I said? That price wants to return to the median of the pitchfork trend, right? These will act as resistance levels. These will act as support levels right here. Let's play it forward and see how things worked out over the course of the bear market. Interesting. Okay. We do get a retest of the start things in the way. As you can see down here, we do get a retest of the median. These areas continue to act as resistance, support, resistance. Damn. So we move down here. Finally, as you can see, we try and push out of the trend, and we break down in November of 2018. We immediately we return to the median. We do find support here, median. Let's play it forward. Median. Then we slowly move out, and boom, we break out of the bear market, and kind of like the official bear market in April of 2019. Yada yada. You know what happens. We push up to 14, we trade sideways. May 19 happens. But so the behavior like this, where we return to the median, is what I am expecting here for this bull market trend that I created. And that bear market trend is from here to here. That area that I showed you. So top to bottom, it's here to here. Got this set up. We'll see how it goes for the bull market. I've got my eyes on it. In a way, using these things for a long-term trend, I'm still verifying it for myself that these things work the way that people say they work. It's a very interesting tool, but you want to make sure that your tools can give you useful, tradable information and that you understand how to use it. So, yeah, I think that is what I'm expecting here. A move back down towards our median trend. Some sideways here. We move up here, maybe even a little bit below the trend. We could here. These are reasonable places. But I expect us to stick to this median trend and then make new highs here. We've got a lot of room to do it too. Let's go ahead and take a look at the broader alt markets right now. These all look alike. I probably don't have much to say different on any of these. Bitcoin dominance is falling. This is good. I would say that Bitcoin dominance falling is kind of a measure of how speculative people are feeling in the crypto market right now. Are they interested? Are they just like out of the market, or are they in Bitcoin, or are they trading alts? And if they're trading alts, then obviously they're much more risk on. They're much less risk averse. Still, though, we do have this break of the downtrend that we're keeping our eyes on, as this could just be bottoming behavior before a major move in dominance upwards, which would mean just get out of alts and either be in Bitcoin or maybe be in cash, depending on whether the market's bullish or bearish. But one way or another, alts would not be the appropriate choice at that time. Lots of resistance overhead here on Uniswap Perp, right? I think it's clear that we have so much room to move up to resistance here on all of these alt perps, and thus the baskets of altcoins themselves. I know you guys will have a lot of different alt requests today, and most of the markets look alike. They look very similar to these charts. We're down so much, and we're starting to come up off the bottom. I feel like it'd make more sense to see like one more push down to scare people, right? Maybe not. Maybe we've already pushed down enough.
I don't know. I've always liked the don't buy the first dip adage.
Well, this is more like the second dip.
Yeah, but I just want to wait on it for myself.
Mm-hmm. And we're so far below the daily baseline on everything. I haven't really been able to put up many long signals. I haven't been able to put up many signals this week. Period. The markets have just been kind of uncooperative in that way. But that's sort of the goal of the system, is to keep you out of moments like this where maybe we're not as sure what's happening as we'd like to think we are.
Yeah, your system should be keeping you out of choppy situations, and this is definitely a choppy situation.
Yeah. Yeah, on lower time frames, this really feels like we've bottomed out. If there's more downside, I don't expect much more downside in this spot. It wouldn't be much. It'd be like another push down.
A little reminder to any DLive users, I see Mr. Ether about to donate some subs. That's right, if you're not currently a subscription, don't have a sub to the channel on DLive, watch for the alert. It should probably pop up any second now. If you're a DLive user, this is your opportunity to snatch up a sub. Shoutouts to Mr. Ether for that. 5 seconds, he says.
Yeah, I don't feel excited about this bounce in this spot. It's big because we're so volatile, right? We fell so far. We're bouncing real like a spring right now. It's still very volatile, so it feels like a big move. But really, we're still kind of hanging out underneath resistance. Look, a BNB. We're right underneath some resistance right here. This is not really a place to be a buyer, right? No, not yet. Like at this point, maybe if we broke above, what is this? 1 million sats? 1 million, 10 million? Yeah. 1 million sats. Bitcoin still, like I said, we're right here at the point of control. Right at resistance. Yeah, none of these things are screaming bounce to me right this second, even though the daily price action does look good. It looks almost as if we did a triple bottom here. We're forming a kind of inverse head and shoulders, and maybe let's a lower time frame and look kind of like this. Maybe. But just maybe we're underneath resistance right now, and we're going to push one more time into these areas of volume that we see on some markets. Well, down here, what we were talking about, the 2100 area that I guess we touched it. If you want, you could be like, oh, Alex got this right. But I still feel like we need to trade down in this area, not just kind of like brush against it playfully.
Yeah.
Like, look at all that liquidity down there. I'm just gonna, hello, liquidity, goodbye. Like this, no. We're just gonna, yeah. Just a little tickle. Hello, liquidity.
And like that chart doesn't scream pain.
Yeah. I still see some volume right up here around 2,800 on Ethereum. We could push up a little bit into this and then Bam. Slam down into it. Yeah, we see that volume right here. The stuff, the 2800. Maybe. What's the dollar doing? If we're kind of up today, then the dollar's probably kind of down.
Probably down sideways.
Whoops, that's not right. Okay, the dollar's down today with everything else. That's interesting. This is somewhat hopeful.
Yeah, maybe some.
We do seem to have some. This wick looks like it could be a rejection, and we've got some decent momentum today. Maybe we can push down a little bit more here. But you do kind of, like I said, as I've said last week, it certainly appears that we are finding support in this spot. We pushed again and again and again and again and again into this area, and we haven't made much headway. As a matter of fact, we've begun to trade sideways out of our downtrend. Maybe we can keep going, and if we do, that'll be great for us. We'll make more money off of crypto and everything, but it's really highly questionable at this moment. Maybe this is a better spot. Okay. Everything else is also down today, interestingly, but I guess the euro must be having a relatively strong day if everything is down, including the dollar. Or, I guess they gap down and they're trading up. Not much to report, really, on Forex ones, it seems, beyond the dollar. Well, dollar's down, Dow is up. It's like clockwork, people. Dollar controls everything. So another day where we gap up and then trade down all day long. So that's kind of what's been happening here. We gap up, trade down, gap up here, trade up, gap up, trade down, gap up, trade down, gap up, trade down, gap up, trade down. And so all the buying is going on overnight here in the Dow Jones markets, and then the day is just selling right now. That's what these candles are telling us. If you're wondering like why I'm drawing attention to these gap ups and trading downs, if it gaps up, if all the buying happens overnight, then it's, I don't know, maybe you want to call it market manipulation, or maybe that means it's just like larger institutions are doing their buying after hours. It's certainly interesting. It's notable. NASDAQ gapped up, traded up this morning, traded down now. Certainly doesn't look super strong, does it? It's just, it got above our baseline and then it's just trading sideways for a week.
Yeah, it's just under support, resistance as well.
Yeah, and not the good kind of sideways where our oscillator is resetting itself. No, our oscillator is getting more and more extended upwards. It's the bad kind of trading sideways.
Mm-hmm.
S&P gapped up, trading down, and man, we sure look trapped below resistance here, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the bullish momentum?
And you're beginning to get oversold now.
Mm-hmm. Or overbought.
Overbought, sorry.
Yeah. Easy mistake to make. Yeah, I don't see much to recommend the traditional markets to us right now, and for that reason, I'm a little concerned about crypto in this spot. At least the dollar is down today. The dollar being down is good news for us, and we hope that it can continue to move down, in which case we'd probably see these things surge. But the crypto traditional markets, it's just kind of hard to imagine it happening at this point. I mean, if we saw this I guess inverted, you could look at it and think, okay, maybe it could make it keep moving up. It looks more like we'll peg the volume here one last time and then break this trend. Well, we've got a few minutes. Why don't we take a look at commodities and bonds real quick?
What are my bonds doing?
Sideways, my friend.
Oh,
10-year bond sideways. 2-year bond trading at resistance. So this is kind of our resistance level right here. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Resistance, resistance, resistance. So nothing much doing there. 5-year bonds trading sideways, but probably the most positive looking. Man, the NASDAQ looks even worse on this chart, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks just super stuck.
Yeah.
And your
The
volatility
other version of NASDAQ we were looking at was an ETF. It only trades during the day, but this is futures, so this trades 24/7. So the data is a little bit more complete here in some ways. We sure look like we're rejecting from resistance here, don't we?
top it out swing failure. Yep.
Yeah.
Volatility is decreasing. You're coming right up to your baseline. Yeah, that looks like a classic swing failure.
Where's our positive volume, right, guys? We had way more over here than we do right now. Look right down here. So here, sellers get the fuck out of the market. Do a little bit more getting the fuck out. Which you can see because they lean in here. Notice how sellers, they don't run out of steam. They sort of gain steam. So sellers are pretty interested in selling here. I gotta say, it looks kind of rough here for the NASDAQ. Russell's trading sideways. It's certainly not fantastic looking, but you could make the argument that our oscillators were setting here. You look at the monthly and you got to ask yourself where the positive momentum is. Surely we must get some kind of pullback here commensurate with all this move upwards. Boom. Entire month of sideways. Look at this monthly candle.
New traders got to be ripping their hair out.
Yep. Wall Street 30. This looks rough right here. Gold continues pushing up into resistance as expected. This general area is where you should be looking to take profits. We could push as high as 2,000, but we'll most likely move down and retest this area again as well. So just be taking profits on the way up. Silver is beginning to get a little bit more bullish looking here for us. Seems to be holding the break of the weekly trend shown here. And if so, a measured move would put us back right around $35, which is a reasonable resistance level here. Look at this on the monthly. One sec. So yeah, I think there's some sense to this setup. You know, boom, boom. We retest resistance here as support. It holds. I mean, I had been from early last year, I'd been expecting a pullback all the way towards like $20. We did get that big of a pullback on gold, but we did not on silver. Pullback all the way to 17 here. Alex of the past thinks we should be buying platinum at $1,000. So I don't want to question his wisdom. He has the wisdom of the ancients.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Yeah. We got this break of the uptrend right here. I think it makes a lot of sense to look for a retest of these points of resistance as support here. Hard to make heads or tails of copper here. We don't have a break of the uptrend, so I would say that for right now, it's probably best to assume that it'll keep moving up. Brent crude still at resistance and potentially still just unloading. I was going to say bags, but I suppose people are unloading barrels at these prices. Yeah, I feel as if supply is being dumped near $70 as much as possible. Just a whole lot of volume at this level. This could even be a geopolitical struggle. As we know, U.S. shale oil is only profitable above $60, roughly $60 a barrel. Competitors such as the entirety of Saudi Arabia, but also other foreign countries who make their money off of oil, including Russia, they would prefer if U.S. shale remains unprofitable, so those companies go out of business, so they capture more market share, so they make more money, right? Mm-hmm. So I would say there are a lot of geopolitical reasons why there are people out there who want the price of Brently crude, what have you, to be below $60. So will we go higher? Maybe. There could be a huge supply crunch, which I'm pretty sure there's not. Or there could be a huge spike in demand, which I'm not really sure that will happen. And if those things happen, that could push prices higher. But for now, I would keep my eyes on this because geopolitically, there's a lot more reasons to think the price is going to do this from here than I think it's going to do this from here.
And I mean, the chart will tell you it too. I mean, you just need to give it time here to see if it goes sideways and goes underneath your trend, or if it continues to break. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yes, we're here to speculate on it, but the chart will over time tell us this. So we're getting right into that crunch time now. So it'll be curious moving forward here these next 3 weeks with the monthly close. So it just there's nothing to tell us either direction right now, to be honest with you.
Agreed. We do have this break of the weekly uptrend. That is... There we go. That is something that we can look at and be like, well, that's something a little bit more bearish than just hanging out at resistance. So break of the uptrend here. We break down. We retest resistance some more. I think $40 a barrel oil makes a lot of sense to me. But at the very least, I want to see a retest of $50. I see a little bit of volume here that I like. And that's also kind of a retest of the bottom of this trading range right here. Although I guess I like this. I kind of like this $45 region. I think price does too. We've done a lot of trading here before. Come down from 100, trade down to 45, bounce up to 60, 45, 45. Down to 30, hangs out at 45, hangs out at 45. And we've got this fake out here all through the late 2010s. Boom. Negative oil prices, if you guys recall. hangs out around $45, back up to this critical geopolitical level of $60, $70, maybe back down to 45 again. 45 area. All right, why don't we go ahead and soybeans up, of course. Why don't we go ahead and look at chart requests?
Let's do it. I do have a small bag of requests already here, locked and loaded, ready to go. So, what do you say we get right into it? Gonna reveal our first request now. All right, here we have it. Let's have a look here. Now, these few I think you've already more or less covered in your main analysis, Alex, but I'm just gonna take this opportunity to shout out the audience participants who wrote the following. This Alemo over on Twitch writes, "Is this the bottom question mark?" And Mr. H, my fellow Kryptonians, will we stay green or is this a fake out? Well, I do appreciate you guys inquiring about whether or not we're bottoming, but I think Alex did cover his thoughts on Bitcoin in detail. Hopefully did answer your bottoming question. And here's another one also related to bottoming. Crypto Husao on DLive writes, what's your take, Alex or Jason, on this news about whales buying the dip? Could this potentially hamper a further dip to the 20Ks? What do you guys think? Will the whales buying the dip here?
I think all news reporting like that is garbage.
Yep, our analysts don't put too much stake in that. I wouldn't put a trip down to 20K to test the previous all-time high on some macro level to be out of the question just yet. But thank you, Crypto Husao. Apparently, dip whale stats of whales buying the dip does not really influence our traders or analysts' thoughts on the market right now.
Having nothing, burger. And how often is the media right?
Indeed.
Can I get a request?
Yes, no problem. Finally, Crypto Bull 21 requested Dixie, but we did look at the Dixie at some point, so thank you for that one. And Mike Maker, how about MATIC? Yes, let's take a look at MATIC.
All right. It's kind of topped out here, right? Mm-hmm. Certainly, there's no long for us to take. We're inside of the no trade zone of our Keltner channel around the moving average. I'd be looking to be a buyer around 54 cents. There's a chance we could push higher again with if everything else pushes higher again. But I would just expect another retest of resistance here and then finally move back down into this area. What's next?
All right, let's dive into the next request. We have Zill. Zill for Leo Joy. Can we please take a look at Zill, he asks.
Nothing for us to really do here in this spot. Pretty far below the daily baseline. Not even curled up yet on our oscillator. We could easily retest the lows here, maybe 10 cents again. Possibly even as low as 7 cents. Yeah, there's just I'm pretty doubtful about this bounce here today in this spot. What's next?
All right, there's your look at Zilqua, Mr. Leo Joy. Thank you for that one. Crypto Caveman's up next. He's requesting ICP USD on the 4 hour. All right, what's going on with ICP on the 4 hour?
This is potentially a good. I mean, it's nothing is going on with it, and it's literally trading sideways down here. But this is arguably a good spot. There we go. This is arguably a good spot to be a buyer. We're most likely trading inside of the liquidity of the wick right now. If you see where it is that we're trading, sort of trading underneath support, getting people a little scared, but we're actually filling someone's bags right now. So I think this is a good place to be a buyer on ICP. If we do dip, I don't expect us to dip much lower past $100 or so, but it could dip with the other markets right now. You're catching a knife, but it's potentially not a bad spot. What's next?
All right, there is your look at ICP on the 4-hour. Thank you to Crypto Caveman for that. There we go. Natural Law, he's super bullish on DOT. It's Parachain's launching any day. What are your thoughts? All right. Well, let's at least give a gander at the Polkadot chart, see what it's doing.
Give a gander.
I mean, Parachain's launched on Kusama, and Kusama's price was still way down.
That doesn't. That chart right there does not inspire strength to me, but you could get that bounce up to the baseline.
Yeah, listen, buddy, the chart just doesn't look any different from anything else. Whatever big news you think is happening with DOT right now, the market doesn't give a shit. Because I know people are used to price reacting bullishly because it's been a bullish market, so news has been like, yay, news, and markets is pumped. The market is not in that mood right now, and you can see that because this chart does not look any different from any other charts we've looked at. And if there was big news that was like on the horizon that the market was like so excited about, then it would be diverging from the other coins that don't have that news, right? But it's not. It looks exactly the same. The reason why? Market doesn't give a shit right now. So that's my opinion. For what it's worth, is that it doesn't matter because the market doesn't care. Maybe it's good news fundamentally for DOT going forward in the future over the medium to long term, but in the short term, the market doesn't give a fuck.
All right, Natural Law, there's your look at Polkadot. Let's dive into the next one, shall we? We have BAO for Poly B, BAO, that one.
Okay, BAO.
Yeah, we'll use Tridex here. I mean, it's positive looking, but arguably it doesn't look any different from any of the other coins we've looked like, where it kind of looks as if it made a double bottom. And it looks like it wants to move back up to test resistance, right? But it could also just get the hammer and send you screaming into hell if things don't stay bullish after today, right? Because, I mean, how different is that chart from this chart? It's like not. For this area right here, it's the same picture, right? It's like the Office meme. Can you tell the difference? It's the same picture. Like the markets are all moving in like they're highly correlated right now. They're moving anyway. They're moving together. They're moving in lockstep. So I don't see anything special here, and arguably we're underneath resistance. So probably not a good time to buy. What's next?
All right, there would be your look at BAO. Shoutouts to Poly B for that one, but we're going to dive right into the next request. And this one's from Alex1233 of the DLive chat. He wants to look at Super. What is Super coin?
Super Farm. It's a farming token.
Gotcha. Super Farm, yep.
It looks like everything else. I see some nice volume right up in this area of $1.50, $1.60. So if we break up from this area, then I like this. But look at this volume all the way down here at 50 cents. Well, what if we just come down here, just retest that real quick. before we move up. That's like a 40% drop in price. How much is that? Excuse me, it was a 45% drop in price. That would totally suck. So maybe you can get a better price down here at 50 cents. So I would exercise some caution. We definitely don't know for sure that Super is bouncing here. We don't know that anything is bouncing here. And remember, all of these markets look exactly the same. They're all going to do the same thing here. What's next?
All right, quick look at Super Farm there for Alex1233. Thank you for that. We have Blackbird 987 next, and his request is cake. Let's look at Pancake Swap token.
I think that makes most sense. There's still a lot of volume down here that we could move down and peg again. We're just in the middle of the trading range. It's the same as all the other tokens. It's just we're not in a convincing spot to long it yet. There's a lot of risk here because price is so volatile at these bottoms. Just a retest of the lows is a huge drop and incredibly painful to hold through, and more likely you're getting stopped out. I would approach it with caution. Let's look at ChartX. I know we've got a little bit more data here that we can look at. Maybe this will tell us something. This is... Where's all the fucking data? There we go. So this gives you a better sense of where we are for cake. So there's this volume down here that price clearly likes to trade inside of between $10 and $14. What I'm saying is we can get another push down into this area before we bounce up to retest any kind of resistance. So I think it makes a lot of sense that we could push down, because we see that here too. That there's all this volume here that the price would want to push down into. What's next?
All right, appreciate that one for Blackbird 987. He just drops a comment writing, all right, I'm putting limit sub $10 orders to catch those wicks. I got it. All right. Blackbird looking to take Pancake Swap to the upside. Very informative. Let's get into the next one. Two users, Stuwok as well as Taz Blitz, both requesting link. Let's look at link, shall we?
Link's had a nicer bounce than a lot of other things have had today, but ultimately we're still sitting in the middle of this trading range. Right here at this point of control. This entire area is just one big high volume node, so there's a lot of point of controls here, but I would classify this as right in the middle of the trading range. I wouldn't want to take it long or short. If we continue to move up, you could take it as high as $35. Actually, I think this is probably reasonable. This is probably more reasonable. But you can also see volume down here that we would want to push down into, for anywhere from $20 down to $16. So I would not be surprised to see one more push down here, guys. Everything looks the same, so I sound like a broken record, and trust me, I feel like one too. But I think probably the smartest thing to do in this point is to sit on our hands and figure out which coins are going to be the strongest when there is a bounce. Because every single chart is the same, right? Like, you can't really diversify into different coins because it's still the same chart, right? It's still the same trade. You just have the you have to trade on 4 different times. You know, I bought some dips down here on a couple different. I bought Maker, which has bounced okay. I bought Synthetics. I got some Maker down at like 2,800 or something like that. I'm not really sure it's worth holding on to much past this point. It certainly doesn't right here at the point of control. I think it makes more sense to be looking down in these areas right now, guys. We're just not seeing a strong and healthy bounce here. You want to see more bullishness. So, what's next?
All right, thank you for an extended look at Link, and of course expounding on some of your thoughts, guys. Indeed, a lot of the charts look the same. Quick comment here from Ron Legato. It's so nice to watch the stream on a TV. Thanks, guys. Feel really spoiled today. Of course, Ron Legato coming through, I guess, the YouTube app for your Android TV. All right, well, that's another benefit of the YouTube platform, isn't it? Mr. Ether wants to look at ENJ USD.
Kind of the same story here. This is a good place to be a buyer, but we also see this order block right around between 80 cents and $1. This one tiny one over here at 63 cents. We could push up into, if things remain bullish, we could push up into $2. That's where I would be looking to take profits on like a knife catch.
Mm-hmm.
But if we did do that, then I would especially be looking down here. One way or another, I think it makes sense to be looking down here for long-term ENJ buys. Under $1. What's next?
All right, Mr. ENJ for Mr. Ether. There is your request in there. Let's dive into Helder F. Santos's request. It's Ada Cardano.
This chart is reminiscent of Ether's chart in some way. Yeah, it's similar. It's some similar chart. I'd say they have more in common than either chart does with Bitcoins. I would say so far this is going to plan. We are slowly pushing up into resistance. I believe we've been looking at around 175 for the resistance area, but we haven't quite made it there yet. We're just finding resistance at 170 right now. There's just nothing bullish for us yet. WADA is ready to have a short it. We are crossing up here on time transformation. I think at this level, it just makes sense to wait for some kind of break of 175. Like if we could remain above 175, then at the very least, this is all back on the table up to like 240, 250, and there's a good trade on the table. But as long as we remain below 175, I think this is something to either remain flat on or use this spot to kind of short it down towards the bottom. What's next?
All right, there is Cardano wrapped up. Only a few requests still left on the board for today. Rolo Maximus on DLive writes, "Hey guys, have you already looked at BNB? Don't think we have. Let's see."
Briefly looked at it, but it looks like everything else, guys. Ultimately, I can see us move as high as $436 here. We've got some nice resistance levels above us to look to sell into, but I would look for a return to $200, and then if we have like a big move down, maybe even that 150 level that we were eyeing. But I think it makes a lot of sense to see all these longs flushed out and see us trade down here around $200 in this order block. What's next?
All right, there's your look at BNB for Rolo Maximus. Mr. Ether writes, "How about we start the crazy end of the bull run and start making those huge gains from now through August?" All right, Mr. Ether suggesting we step on the gas and get those gains in before this bull market does finally meet its end somewhere later this year.
He's in.
He's in, yes. And I'm with you on this one, Mr. Ether. Maybe just a couple more weeks and we'll be in the clear before heading on to glory at new all-time highs come August, come September, October. Tough to say when, but end of year.
December.
Let's call it end of year, all-time highs. Let's get into it. Next one is FEG. FEG for Topher D on YouTube.
I feel like the last time we looked at it, my suggestion was probably to get out. This seems like one of those things where I would say get out. Yeah, I don't see anything positive here to make you want to buy this dip. We could move back up towards 177 way. I don't know. 177, however many units this is over here. But ultimately, I would look for another retest of the lows. What's next?
All right, there we have a look at FEG, and it seems to be coming across the request line more frequently as of late. Blackbird 987 on the DLive writes, "Patience will go a long way. It's going to be easier to enter a bull market. Just don't lose all your money before that happens." Yeah, good advice. Don't get wrecked in the chop that we're presently in.
Gotta live to trade another day.
Yep, indeed. And this is, of course, kind of a turning point in the market. Let's get into one of the final requests of the day. And it's Mike Maker. He wants to look at ALGO.
Dang it. Yeah. Let's try this. All right. Certainly seems like we've got a lot of room to move up here and retest some resistance, some supporters' resistance. I'd say look to see us push up at least towards $1.10, and maybe even as high as $1.30. But ultimately, I think I'd like to see us retest 50 cents, maybe 65 cents. That makes a lot of sense.
Don't make sense if it don't make sense.
What's next?
The last one on the list, I believe.
Oops, I was muted as far as the audience is concerned. Next request up is MUSE for Paranormal Debunker.
I think I kind of like this spot for MUSE here. I like that we're existing inside of this wick right now. So basically, if you bought any time after the pump in early February, you just got flushed out just completely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't dislike the spot. It could end up being a good buy. If you've got good fundamental reasons, then I say go for it. We could still have a little bit more downside. I could see us push as low as $5 and something, but I guess it's only a 50% drop from here. As long as you you were cognizant of your risk, then I don't see a problem with this trade. Just don't let it buck you off if you decide to take it. Okay?
Is that a complete 80% retracement?
I'm sure it's much more than. It looks like 90.
Yeah, that's good.
Here. Bam, 90%. I do this way too much with my time, guys. What's next?
To be honest, that's the last request I have on the board, guys. This is about it for today. Pretty quiet Monday, of course, with the markets looking like a lot like one another and things looking pretty droopy.
You guys have any special requests? I feel like you guys have taken my statement to heart that all the charts are the same and that you shouldn't jump on stuff, and that's probably why you have fewer chart requests today. So if you do any of your audience members have anything you want to go over or talk about, we can do that.
Yeah, get in your last few comments or requests, guys. We still have a few minutes to go. As far as the chest is concerned, guys, I know we usually do the chest about the 1 hour 45-minute mark into the show, but today our chest custodian isn't here, so no chest today. My apologies for the D-Live audience. Hit us up tomorrow on the Tuesday edition of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update for the big lemon giveaway. In the meantime, we're going to slowly wind the show down here. We're going to wait out the requests to see if somebody has a few questions or anything left in here. Topher D, we just did FEG. That was your request from earlier. Maybe you missed it. You're going to have to catch the replay in order to rewind and find your FEG request, which was completed.
We've got real timestamps now, so it's not going to be as hard.
Exactly. We do have timestamps. You can find them in the description on YouTube. Not too long after the show wraps, we have Crypto Bull compiling the timestamps. Makes reviewing the show that much easier. Alright, in the meantime, I have at least another couple of requests that came across the request line right now. Mike Maker wants to look at Pirate Chain, ARRR, and XRP.
Kept having problems finding R.
Yeah, but we'll just use CoinTrader. It worked last time. Well, my previous drawing is saved here. guess not much has changed. We looked at this last on Friday, and it's basically trading at around the same price. I would wait for a firm break of this resistance before you take it, because we could reject here and test a little lower in this wedge, right? We don't have to. We don't have to break this. As a matter of fact, we could start to break it, and then it's like a total fake out, and then the hammer comes, and then we're underwater. So it's just not there yet. I see the setup. It looks really nice, and ultimately, the way these things work, wedges tend to end up near this first support level, and I think if we do a measured move here, you'll see what I mean. So top to bottom move here. Control C, Control V. This is sort of the kind of move that we should expect, roughly give or take. These things tend to complete within like somewhere between 100% and 60-70%. So I would be very cautious here. Like, as I said, we could retest the lows, and if we do, that's actually quite a big move down from this spot. To get one more 40 or 50% drop, that'd be pretty painful. Or there's another way to look at it. You could buy twice as much Pirate Chain if you just waited a couple weeks and we do get that drop. If there's one more 50% drop, you could have bought twice as much. Maybe we won't get the drop, but I think a little bit of patience here would be smart, or at least wise.
Agreed.
All right. How about EXRP RIP? Yep.
Pretty similar to everything else here. I actually see some resistance up in this area that makes a little bit more sense. Where if we popped up, we would pop up into this area, actually. You do see a volume down here around 70 cents. This seems to be where price would want to retest if we do retest this wick. So these are the two areas I keep my eye on. Right now, it looks more like we're rejecting from resistance and we're going to go down. But if we don't, then this is the area I would be targeting to take profits on longs or look to grab my shorts from. Up a little bit above $1. $1.10, $1.20. Do we have anything else for our guests?
We do, and we had a few more requests and a couple questions come in across the line here. So let's read out the next one. This one's from Mr. Ether. Can we look at Pond, POND, USD? That could be a ChartX jobby, but maybe not.
Well, it turns out there's some right here.
All right.
Yeah, it just looks like everything else, man.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if we've got a little bit more data here.
Nope.
That can't be right. Is that right? What's the price here? 9.5 cents. Okay, I guess this is right. There we go. I don't see any reason why we would want to get in this versus any of the other alts we've looked at. Like this does look so much like all our other charts. And also we see resistance overhead. We see places down below where it may want to fall to. What if it did fall to retest this support level? It's a 60% drop from here. Are you sure you want to risk that in this spot? Are you double sure? What's next?
All right, shout outs to Mr. Ether for the pond request. Here is one more from X Windor. Did you guys look at GRT? I came in a little late. I don't think we looked at GRT. Brief look at GRT in the closing minutes of the show.
Are we giving away the chest today, or?
Nope, there's no bet.
No bet.
I swear I saw Kraken crypto.
No bet.
There's that you, Jack, using that.
That was on me, baby.
It was on me, baby.
GRT feels like one of the only coins that actually did retest that lower level that we were looking. So you see, this is way down here. This area got retested. GRT is probably the strongest looking out of anything we've seen today. It kind of looks like it has the most potential to bounce the highest. I'm not sure where resistance is here. It's like somewhere between $1 and $1.50. I see a lot of resistance levels, so I'm not sure where the I feel like this one makes the most sense. I'm not convinced, okay? GRT will follow the rest of the market here. But it does kind of look the best out of anything we've looked at thus far. It is, however, doing this same thing we've been seeing where we're finding resistance here. Again, it's exactly the same as Bitcoin, almost. It's just smaller volatility. But we're right up against this point of control in the middle of our area, so I would exercise caution, but GRT could be a good choice here coming up if we do bounce. What's next?
All right, there is your look at Groot. Let's hop into one of the last requests here, and it's Mike Maker wanting to look at Monero. XMR.
It's like everything else, bro. Certainly doesn't look like that strong of a bounce, does it? Oh. There's an argument to be made. We see a lot of absorption here. We see sellers, 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 sellers. I think it makes more sense to see one more retest of the lows here. Maybe try and pick it up near $200. If we do end up breaking up from this spot, then I would look to $330 as resistance in this area. Okay.
All right. Conclude your thoughts on Monero, or are you still drawing?
I do.
All right, here we go, home stretch now. Here's a question from ANCAP Futures. What are the future show plans? What do we have in mind for the show? Well, plans are to continue at the pace we're currently working at.
Where have you been the last few years?
Yeah, we look forward to bringing you the Breaking Bitcoin Market update on the regular at the same crypto channel, same crypto time, barring any other unforeseen events on the YouTube front. But no, guys, we do have some things brewing. They are currently in the early stages of production. We look forward to bringing you more content in the future and Cap Futures, so hang tight for some more exciting content coming to this particular YouTube channel. Here is one from Electric. Electric writes, how do you guys make it through these periods of time, like months, when crypto, Bitcoin barely moves? Do you look to other markets for trades?
Yes and no. So certainly one of the reasons why I have expanded into trading Forex and commodities and stuff is, and other things of that nature, is because there are times where crypto trades sideways, and I want to be able to make money.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always some trades to be taken in the market. Even during the bear market, there was an awful lot of shorting that could have been done, and there were plenty of alt seasons. There was like 2 or 3 alt seasons a year during the bear market. I mean, alts would pump 200, 300%, and then dump 70 or 80%, which takes away all those gains plus extra. But I mean, there was still volatility. There were only a few times where there was such little volatility that you couldn't trade. That was in like November of 2018. Here. Here, there was too little volatility to trade. We tried, we got chopped up on everything we did from, essentially August through November. But then huge volatility. We took longs here, we took longs here, we took longs all the way up into this area. We were short here, we were long here, we got stopped out on this pump. We took this short, yada, yada, yada. We were short for part of this area, then we re-longed, and that was a big mistake in March. But there were all sorts of trades even during the bear market, and this is just Bitcoin. Don't forget that Link totally diverged from the rest of the market, and basically all during the bear market. So bear market is still going on in December of 2019, and Link's like, fuck it, I don't care. So July 2019, boom, Link pumps from 50 cents up to $3. It's a 6x. In a bear market, and we trade sideways until the bull market starts, and then Link is like, fantastic, I'll just keep going. How about this? This is not quite the same as everything else. Bear market started in December of 2018. EOS went with the bear market, and then EOS diverged from everything else because it had the mainnet coming out, and everybody was super bullish and positive about it. And price pumped off the bottoms another 4x. And this was in the middle of the bear market. It was the beginning of the bear market. People didn't quite understand it was the bear market. But this is an example about how even when the bear market starts, there's still trades on the table here in crypto. I hope that I hope that I've shown you today that even if this is it for crypto, this isn't it for crypto. I mean, the only reason Jason and I aren't putting up, crazy high volatility, there's still a lot of volatility on the table right now. Things were so volatile. My moving averages haven't even caught up yet, but there will be trades.
Oh yeah, they're definitely coming, and that's the thing. You just have to be patient. But with the volatility that we've gotten right now in the systems that we're running on the daily, we just don't have a chance to catch any of this right now. But the time will come when all of our oscillators and moving averages catch back up to where, boom, we're going to get signals. You just got to be patient and wait for them.
All right. Well, thank you, Electric, for that question. Let's dive into, we got a couple minutes still left in the show today. Here is Blackbird 987's personal thesis for this market. Let me just adjust it on screen just a touch here. Blackbird writes, I am taking a reversal bounce up to 46K. I just can't see Bitcoin past 46K in one shot though, apart from fake outs into 50K. From that rejection, I can see a drop to 28K to finalize the correction, but that's just my thesis, he writes. All right, Blackbird, yeah, I could get with that. I could indeed see the price wander up from here, test 42, even 46K before we test 28, and then...
Those are all the levels that I have marked out. So he's essentially saying that you see this.
Yep. Which, something that we discussed about. So that was like the exact scenario that we were discussing last week, where we build this right shoulder on this inverse head and shoulders, gives us enough of support there to launch up into the 40s, maybe 40 through 46, somewhere in there. I'm looking at 43. and then we have that break back down to the lower lows.
Well, I still think we may retest the lower lows here first, but like it could still go either way. I genuinely don't know, guys. I grabbed some longs down here. I've not blown my entire buy the dip bag yet, and I'm up a little bit, but I'm not up like where at this point I would rather dump them at break even rather than take profits after like 2 or 3%. That's not what I'm going for with these dip buys. But it's just not guaranteed yet, guys. I'm waiting for more confirmation before I go in hard at all, and I think you should too.
Better to be patient. Was that measure twice, cut once? Like, why get involved if you're not sure, right?
It's a great analogy. I guess it's just I'm not sure. It's just not very exciting to me. It looks like everything else, only we have very little data to work with to give us a really true sense of what price wants to do. Because this is as new as it is. I believe it came out in April, so I kind of don't like it. We don't have a lot of price data to work with. It looks to me more like it wants to retest the lows a little bit more before moving up. But if it did move up, then I would look for it to retest the highs all the way back near $45. What's next?
Okay, and now we have the final request of the day. Thanks for everybody who contributed a request late in the show today. It did help round out the final quarter hour of the show. And it's Luna for Alex 1233.
Definitely still hanging right in the middle of the trading range. I would try and be a buyer back near $4.50. You could you see that bulge still sitting there on VPVR, and this is one of my buy levels that Alex of the past had marked out for us.
Thanks, Alex from the past.
I know, he's always looking out for us. Thanks, dude. That guy's solid.
That guy's a good dude.
Yeah. I think I prefer being a buyer back near $4.50. What's next?
Well, you know what that was? That was the last one for today. Not much more to add.
Right at 159.
All right. Let me generate one last meme for today. Brilliant. And off we go. Let me rejig the screen as well. Let's hide this and reveal the closing graphics for today's show. Yeah, we did end up filling out the request line top to bottom. And finally, let me get one last thing adjusted on screen before we move to say our goodbyes, guys. Here we go. All right, it's been another excellent Monday in the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update series. I thank everyone, particularly our analysts who joined us on their long Memorial Day long weekend. It's good to have still come through filled in on the audience on all their favorite coins, their favorite analysis this Monday. Alex, I do have your custom meme for today up on screen. Be sure to check that out.
Still not up with the delay.
Alex certainly sees it over on Twitch. There is your meme, Alex. This is it for crypto. Two ways of interpreting that statement. But there you have it. All right, guys, it's been a great one. I do thank you all for joining us today, and I thank all our regulars here in the audience coming through this. Yep, coming through this Monday on the YouTubes. Not much more to add, so we are gonna move to wrap it up right here, right now. As always, you know where to find us for the premium content. Premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Get access to our indicators, our signals, our traders' live trading journals. Proprietary indicators, education materials, so much more you can find by checking out premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Do join our premium community. But you can
Mr. Ether says you can hear Alex, but not Jack.
That's strange.
No. Jack said, I was briefly muted. Okay, maybe it's fixed.
Yes, all fixed up, I assure you. Okay. All is good for this outro segment. But yeah, also check out Discord. Discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. If you're not already a part of probably the leading crypto Discord community, not a pump and dump group, not one of these scam, shilly groups. This is for real. This is a group dedicated to trading and the art of trading with veteran traders here for you to engage with. Do join the Discord community, I implore you. And finally, you can check out the timestamps and the replay over in the new content channel on our Discord. Now, of course, this isn't as relevant as it once was, being that YouTube is very easy, very convenient for catching the video on demand replay, along with the timestamps in the description. But hey, if you want to check out the timestamps and the video replay on an alternative platform, we also post that to the new content channel on Discord. Do check that out. All right, not much more to add here. It is time to wrap up the show. We went to exactly 3:03. Yep, pretty much exactly a 2-hour long show. I thank everyone once again, and it's time to wrap here. Final words to our traders.
Trade safely, everybody.
Yeah, just make sure you trade safely. On lower time frames, things do look like they're beginning to look a little bit more bullish than they have been. So the way I'm looking at this is it's likely to get a press to the upside before the downside. But again, it's all about timing. So make sure you're risking appropriately, because anyone could be wrong, right? Just make sure that you have some stuff on the sidelines for whenever we get just some dry powder for dips, stuff like that. But right now, just kind of be patient with it, guys. I think the charts will eventually tell us which direction we're heading here.
Yep, give it some time, and we will come out on the other side. But rest assured, we'll be back tomorrow. Tuesday update comes your way. Just under 22 hours now. We'll see you guys there. Peace out. Much love.
Goodbye.